Okay, so it has been a little bit before since I've done an update on the state of Shadows and Ink. So I just wanted to provide an update on where we're at, how the abilities and stuff are working. And so we're going to go through one of the houses of magic. This will be 16 abilities for Shinkai. So I'm just going to go through all of the abilities, explain what they do, just kind of show off the visuals and what the thought process is, and just so we can get some visuals out for people to see what's going on. So let's just get right into it. And this is Shinkai's abilities. These are abilities that revolve around fire, electricity, and ice. It's high burst damage, chasing people down, uh, abilities that kind of hop around corners. So let's just start with it. And the first one I'm gonna do is called Meteor Burst. This one is created by doing YXX.
Meteor burst!
There you go. Got the players dying. You enter this kind of like hovering state where you shoot this volley of fireballs out from your hands, and then each one, as they explode, they release these two little artillery fireballs that are going to very lightly track on enemy locations and explode and deal, some extra bonus damage. They're not like very aggressive tracking. It's more about high velocity and like turning in the rough direction where they're at. So let's see.
Meteor burst!
So you can kind of see how they whip a little bit in the direction of the enemy, but it's not enough to
Meteor
override the
burst!
physics. Okay, after Meteor Burst, there's Flare Blitz. This is like a dash attack. You cover yourself in flames, and then you dash forward, and then you release those little fireballs. So this is YXY.
Flare blitz! Flare blitz! Flare blitz!
Alright, and then after Flare Blitz, we have Nova Bomb. This is like an overhead charge up. This is YXA.
Nova blast! Nova blast!
So use it a couple times so you can see.
Nova blast! Nova blast!
It's a really high power, fun to use ability. Then we have Combustion Wave, which is the last of the pure fire abilities. This one will be YXB.
Combustion wave!
This is a slow moving little fireball that is going
Combustion
to
wave!
move forwards in a straight line and then shoot those seekers out constantly. And enemies inside of the fireball will take damage when they're trapped inside of it. So it's just kind of this throw it down a lane, fire and forget
Combustion
type
wave!
thing. So those are the pure fire abilities for Shinkai. Next we'll do the pure lightning ones. So I'll follow the same format as I did for the fire ones, where I did Meteor Burst was the hover kind of shooting stuff from your hands, a dash ability, an overhead charge up ability, and then a slow moving wave ability. That's the format for the Shinkai's abilities. So the lightning ones are
Tempest landfall!
Tempest Landfall. You shoot these little discs out that summon these lightning strikes that persist for a long time. They don't do a whole lot of damage, but they just kind of like, it's kind of like a don't go here. This place is going to keep being an active area for like 5 seconds with lightning strikes. YAY. You teleport straight to the ground and release this like giant thunder strike like that.
Bolt breaker! Storm javelin!
Storm Javelin is like this high power YAA is Storm Javelin.
Storm javelin!
It's a super high damage attack. There's this really fast
Storm javelin!
lightning javelins that explode on impact and summon lightning bolts down there. It's just a really fun high damage ability. And then last is feedback loop. You're going to shoot this energy ball forwards, and then after it hits a surface or after a little bit, it's going to return to you and summon lightning bolts in a straight line.
Feedback loop!
So this feedback loop. All right, and then those are the 4 electric ones. So we have YAX.
Tempest landfall!
YAY.
Bolt breaker!
Instead of a dash, it teleports you straight to the ground. YAA.
Storm javelin! Feedback loop!
Cool. And then we'll do the ice attacks. So Shinkai's ice abilities, they summon these blizzards on impact, and these are these orbs that are going to reduce movement speed to enemies inside of that area. They have various sizes depending on the ability, and they also will bounce off of the walls and then do the aggressive seeking in the way that the fire, artillery foxtails do. So instead of instantly seeking enemies, you're gonna have to bounce them off of a wall first, and then they're gonna arc towards them. So we have YBX, YBX.
Ice blade arsenal!
You throw these ice, shurikens made of pure ice forwards, and they bounce off walls and summon those.
Ice blade arsenal!
Yeah. Then we have the dash ability for ice. Instead of dashing you forwards or teleporting you straight down, it bounces you backwards. So YBY.
Cryo kickback! Cryo kickback!
It's this tight cone of shurikens that you shoot forward, and they bounce off the walls like that. Let's see if we can get them bouncing towards the enemy players.
Cryo kickback!
Yeah. Just like that. Love it. And then the overhead charge for ice is Swirling Frozen Death, YBA.
Swirling frozen death!
So this giant ice shuriken, now you can see it's a much larger blizzard. These overhead attacks, if you haven't noticed, they take a while to execute, but they do a lot of damage to YBA.
Swirling frozen death!
Yeah, I just wanted to hit the one player. I don't want, if I hit 10 kills, then it's going to end this round. So we'll save that for the end, I guess. So that's Swirling Frozen Death, and then we have Creeping Chill. This is a
Creeping chill!
very slow moving ice ball. Huge blizzard, huge slowing effect.
Creeping chill!
Just slowly travels forwards. There we go. And then it shrinks down and boop, disappears. Now the last 4 abilities are the YY and then another face sign buttons. These are the abilities that are going to mix a couple of the elements together. So we have YYX,
Seeking Storm.
Seeking Storm. This is a slow-moving ball, as you can see, and it summons the lightning bolts that move, behind it. So that ball tracks onto enemy locations, or just tracks onto enemies, and it's going to damage them inside of it, and then summon these lightning strikes where it is. And then we have YYY, which is Foxfire Flush. This is your quick cast. You just press Y 3 times.
Foxfire flush!
It, throws this fireball that bounces off the wall. It's going to explode and damage people nearby it, and then it releases a good amount of those foxtails.
Foxfire flush!
Let's see. Dual Polarity is YYA.
Dual polarity!
Another overhead one. So this takes the bouncing effects of the ice shurikens. So you summon the large ice blizzards, but then on top of it summons lightning bolts inside of the
Dual polarity!
Or inside the blizzard. And then our last ability that we'll be showing for Shinkai is Thermal Flux. This is going to shoot a fireball or an ice ball out that moves quickly, And then when it reaches the end of its destination or hits a wall, it's going to turn into a fireball and come back to you.
Thermal flux!
So this is a really fun one. It's super quick. And
Thermal
I think I'll end
flux!
with here. It does a good amount of damage. If I attack these guys, I'm pretty sure they would die instantly. So we'll give them a second to recover their health. And I'll do a Foxfire Flush, and then we'll wrap it up. So another thing that a lot of you guys might have noticed is you can use abilities a lot more easily in the air. I added a delay, and whenever you press the face button to cast an ability, it briefly turns off your gravity, so you can
Foxfire flush!
maintain some verticality.
Foxfire flush!
Yeah. So these are some of the abilities that are for the Shinkai. Next, we'll be covering probably the Sumi, which is like the ink and shadow abilities. And I just want to show where we are with a lot of these. And let's end it out with my favorite ability, which is the Nova Bomb, which is
Nova blast!
or Nova Bats. Boom, Team 2 wins.